All right, class, I wanted to talk today about week 5. So in week 5, this is our final week of our intense course. We have 2 discussions and an assignment. As you could see, one of them is based on the importance of play. There is a lot of misconceptions with play with parents. A lot of times they think play is play. It's not learning. And if they're playing, they're wasting time. Unfortunately, in today's day and age, I think a lot of parents do believe that. And then what we're used to when we were in kindergarten, play was a huge focus. But I think in this generation, sometimes they feel that play is just play and they don't learn and it's not using time wisely. However, in early childhood, play is learning, and it's active learning and meaningful learning, and it's learning about cause and effect and different role playing and different things like that that parents just don't have the education for. They're not from that background, so they don't understand it. It is very important too for when it comes to play to educate the parents and let them know that this is what we're doing. These are the objectives and the centers that we have. That way they can understand a little bit better. The next one, technology and young children. That is huge. Let's first go back to our discussion. In discussion 1, if you look here, it goes through the importance of play. And it has a video transcript here with specific examples. You're going to use at least one online resource. So make sure that you cite it, because I know that's kind of unique with discussion. So make sure that you do that. And then again, you're still at the 2 peers. If we go back to our discussion 2 this week, discussion 2 is a very sensitive subject in today's day and age. Unfortunately, it seems as if children are being exposed to technology at very young ages, months old. They'll put something in front of a baby to entertain as well. Technology has its bonuses and it has its drawbacks as well. So in this one, you will see if your last name begins with an A through M, you're actually going to be in favor of technology. If your last name begins with N through Z, you're going to be against technology, which could be a little challenging if you're having to go the opposite direction of what your true beliefs are, but then it makes you just look a little bit deeper into it as well. Technology does have its advantages. It's immediate feedback. It's wonderful in the aspect of learning in that aspect. However, it's all about balance. There's balance in the classroom. There's balance at home. Just like a parent, a teacher needs to have balance as well. I know a lot of older, like high school, middle schools will have one-to-one technology, and there's a lot of debate on that. There's actually a neuro therapist here in the city where I live that studies the brain and screen time and actually talks about how they don't want schools per se to have one-on-one technology because that's just an increase in screen time. However, it is this day and age, so that is also something to look at. Well, technology is a reality. So every job, you're going to have technology at some point. So there is really a lot of different debates. Yes, there's positives. Yes, there's negatives. But it really just boils to balance. Make sure that you have a balance. As a teacher, as an adult, as a child, as a school, look at that balance and making sure that you have contact with people as well. That is your discussion 2. If you look at your final assignment this week, your final paper is going to be building on what you've already done. So if you look here, it's still the age group. You're still going to identify your 3 theories on how you envision your classroom to be. Okay, you're going to provide a summary of the concepts you will teach in each of the academic areas. Okay, then you're going to describe 2 specific activities for each academic area that will demonstrate how you will teach these concepts in a way that will be representative both of theories you discussed or state standards. So it's really pretty complex, and as everything, I really like this overview here that it has. So it goes through and has like the cover page, has a list of every single thing that you need. It talks about the introductory paragraph, the topic is critical thought, the conclusion. It talks about 2 scholarly resources, having to have APA, making sure you have a reference. Okay, then if you go, always go to that grading rubric, because then you're going to know exactly what I'm going to be looking at. So it is 20 points. It's a huge chunk, basically 20% of your grade. Okay, so if you go through just the organization, do you have an introduction? Do you have a thesis statement? Do you have a conclusion? Do you have your age group here? Identify and discuss the 3 theories. So not just listing them, but discussing them. And it seems like a lot of mistakes are that you just don't have 3. You're so focused on one, you don't have the 3, and that will be a reduction of points if you just have one. Summarizing the concepts that will be taught in each academic area. Okay, math, reading, science, fine arts. So you can see here, comprehensively summarizes the concept. So to get distinguished, it needs to be distinguished. That means I need more details in a few sentences, okay? Describes 2 specific activities that demonstrate how these concepts will be taught, okay? So 2 activities for each academic area. And then obviously the context and the purpose of writing, the content development, control and syntax. You know, I would always recommend the Writing Center, especially those that struggle a little bit with the grammar aspect. It is not going to hurt anything, that's for sure. So I always recommend that as a resource. It will also help you with APA formatting if you're struggling with that. The page requirement is always going to be a struggle. Always make sure you go to your page requirements, because if you don't have that full, you're not going to get the full points if you're missing pages of details. And then it does say 1 outside scholarly resource as well. So again, I always recommended just going through and making sure that you have all of the things from the rubric, self-grade yourself, so then that way you know all of your concepts will be taken care of. And as normal, I always suggest doing headings. So do a heading that says age group and 3 theories, okay? Do a heading that says concepts that will be taught in each academic area. Do a heading, 2 specific activities that will show how they'll be taught. And you can even do it within. It doesn't have to be all separate. So that is the conclusion of our week. So you are going to have 2 discussions, and then you will also have your final paper. So as always, let me know if you have any questions. It has been an amazing experience and journey with you guys so far, this class, and always goes by so fast. So if I could ever help out in the future with anything, please let me know. Thanks and have a wonderful day.